Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? So this is quite a new little thing I want to try out doing for the next few months. See how it goes for the next few weeks. So this isn't an episode on the podcast. It's just solely for YouTube. And I'm basically going to be creating more vlog styles. I'm now working on one right now, which I'm super excited about to share. It's a funny vlog about this thing I've bought. I'm just gonna kind of log my journey. Not log my journey because that's a fitness term. Vlog my journey, and I'm hoping to do more style vlogs because what I've noticed is I think I would like to bring some fitness vlogs myself and then some Judaism vlogs as well, where I try and make the biggest challah ever and whilst I'm in Tel Aviv, try and do that. So I just thought it'll be good. And I've noticed also the views on my podcast when I'm talking about my experiences normally are the ones which are a bit higher. So maybe people are interested in hearing more about me and my journey, and maybe I can create more content which they find entertaining. So this is just putting out more stuff on YouTube, and it's going to be every week. There's going to be a Q&A on here. So every week I'm going to answer a question. I'm going to put a question box on my Instagram. And if you are listening to this on wherever you are, you're going to have to choose to ask a question or comment below on YouTube and I'll get them all in. And every week I'm just going to ask them the questions because on Instagram, you only have like 15 to 20 seconds to answer it, 15 seconds to answer it. This I'm going to give a bit more of a detailed answer. So if you want the answer, you're going to get the answer properly. And I can just give you the tools you need. And also it's helping me because I want to grow my YouTube. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that red button here. It'll be so much to me. I hope to want to grow this. And hopefully if you subscribe, I can provide more value, help others with their fitness goals, and yeah, be awesome. So I've got a list of questions here on my phone. So the first question is, how important is scales is in monitoring one's fitness goals? And it will depend on your goal. So let's make one thing clear. The scales in the last few years have been deemed to be a bad thing. And it's like, well, you shouldn't be weighing yourself. It's bad for your mental health. And I can understand both sides of the party. Not everyone should be weighing themselves, but I think the scales is going to always be one of the most effective ways of measuring progress. If the question was fitness goal. So regarding fitness goal, doesn't really make a difference actually, because if you're wanting to run 5K, 10K, you can achieve 5K, 10K and not even touch a scale. You can lift 150 kg of maybe squats without going to the scale. Like the scale doesn't determine that success. But when it comes to weight loss, fat loss, the scales will be the most effective tool and actually a tool where it's really beneficial because not only will you understand weight fluctuations, it will see how much you're making progress. So on the weight loss journey, your scale will go down, but it will fluctuate. So this is good for YouTube now. I can actually visualize it. I should get a whiteboard. It'll go up and down, and sometimes you'll go up, and sometimes it'll just stay stationary. And that's how the body works. There's various reasons. If you're a female, the menstrual cycle, for everyone, it's if you had carbohydrates, if you haven't gone to the toilet, all these factors implement and affect your scale weight. And what you understand that is you find out, oh yeah, that makes sense. So when your weight fluctuates, you can understand, oh, that's the why. It's not because I've not made progress. You stay consistent and you see it over 2 weeks' time, it'll go down, but it'll be like a little stock. It's like investing in stocks and shares. It's going to go up and down, but in the whole year, it's compounded up by 8%, 7%, and that's exactly with weight scales. Sometimes it may go low, sometimes it may go high. I think scales is really, really good. A few other ways you can measure progress is hip measurements, waist measurements, progress photos, non measurements could be how you're feeling, how confident you are in the gym, boundary photos, lifting heavier. There's various ways of lifting, of showing progress. Another question. I'm not going to like say names here because I feel like if I said names, people are just not going to answer. So I'm not going to say, oh, this person asked me this question. I'm just going to answer them. So if you are thinking, oh, I want to ask a question, but I don't want to give me a shout out, don't worry, I won't, unless you really want me to. But if you want me to, I will. But I'm not going to be saying, oh, this person asked this. How to stop snacking. And the truth is with this is I wouldn't say, and it all depends on the goal, so kind of hard to see what the goal is here. But snacking's snacking's normal. Like I snack when I'm on a cut and I'm trying to lose fat. I'm still cut. I'm still snacking. So it's probably about how to stop over snacking or having too many snacks. And there's a few things you can do here. You can have more fulfilling foods. Your meals, it's very easy to have a really, really small meal or skip a meal and just end up having loads of snacks. Where if you focus on the basics of having 2 to 3 full meals where there's loads of vegetables on the plate, there's a palm of protein on your plate, and there's some carbohydrates. There's a full meal. You obviously snacks will be important. You shouldn't feel like you need to overconsume because you've got enough energy to hold. You don't need to be consuming because you've got enough energy from the meals. So if you're struggling with overconsuming snacks, are your meals filling enough? Now, if you are having 3 meals, think about the meal itself. Is there enough increase your vegetable portion size, increase your protein portion size in the meal, and that will over time decrease the amount of snacking you do. Now, if that's not a problem, if that's still a challenge, think about your snack. Well, what snack are you having? It may be great and if for goals, but if you're struggling still, is the snack filling enough? Is it got protein in? Is it nutrition? Is it got loads of nutrients in, which are going to help you feel full? And putting those things together, that's the best you can do. And it's about element of consistency, and then you got some control. And then on top of that, it's an element of, well, actually, could you put some tools in place where you actually discipline yourself of not snacking? Well, I'm not going to eat after 8 o'clock, or I'm going to only have my first snack at this time. That's not going to be something you have to do forever, but maybe just for a few weeks to help you get disciplined. That's going to really help. And the most important part is if you do snack, but if you break your rule, that's the most important part. It's not feeling guilty because there's nothing wrong with that. It was just a tool. And I think that's really, really important regarding any diet. They don't teach you that if you don't follow it, they teach you like it's a problem. Like regarding intermediate fasting, a lot of people who teach intermittent fasting is if you don't eat, you have to eat after 10 o'clock, for example, 12 o'clock. But let's say you're at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, that's not a problem. It's just if you're hitting your calories, there's no difference. The reason why intermittent fasting, it just helps you minimize the amount of food you have each day. There's nothing fancy in the body. So hope that helps. So we've got a few questions today. This is a short one. This is a short one which also has some water. How do I pronounce my name? Oh, that's really good. Just no, I'm joking. So it's pronounced Yoel. So Yoel. So 2 syllables, not Yoel, not Joel. Yoel. So like say you're right, Yo, and then you're saying yo to a person called L, like from 11. So it's like Yoel. Perfect. Yeah, that's the best way to think about it. How to grow bigger glutes. Now, I've got so many points on this. I would say go to my last Instagram or second to last. Check out my last Instagram. Check out my last TikTok. I'm gonna have loads of information on growing glutes, but I'll tell you quickly. Well, firstly, how not to grow glutes. Actually, no, because everyone's at different points. And again, this is really, really hard to talk about, well, where you're at right now. The most effective way to get from A to B, growing glutes. Now, there's various ways to get from A. Maybe you're at like 0.1, when they're like 0.9 is close to A. But the most effective way is lifting heavy. So lifting at the gym, doing 2 or 3 exercises and getting super, super strong with them, getting really, really heavy with them, getting more confident with them. And doesn't need to do 10 exercises, but that's from training. That's all you need to do. Like that's all you need to do is lifting heavy with like 2 or 3 glute exercises. Done, dusted. You don't need to be doing 10 at 11. Outside the gym, you need to be having a pump protein with every single meal, and you need to be stepping every day, and you need to have enough recovery. So no point of doing 7 days a week glutes. Try and do 2 days each week and go really, really heavy and make sure you're recovered. Having a pump protein, skadoosh. Progress with every element. Of course, there's various factors with everything, but that is kind of be glute growth 101. Now, I say this, are you actually going to implement it? That's the question. So honestly, if you implement what I just said and stay consistent, you'll see the next Q&A, you'll be like, oh, thank you, El. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right. You're welcome. What do you suggest to someone who's just starting? I really should make sure. Really good question. I should really try and make sure the questions are so precise to your goal. Because I could say starting what? Starting um, a makeup brand. Starting. I'm just gonna say starting with stuff I know, and I'm guessing fitness journey, and it's just starting. And there's no magic behind this. It's literally when you start, you got to start somewhere. So if you're wanting to run, you start walking, you start moving. If you want to gym and be a gym lover, you got to go uncomfortable and get to the gym or start doing some home workouts where you feel more confident with exercises. It's an element of trying to do what can you stay consistent with, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to start with the gym and I want to go 5 days a week and I want to work out for 90 minutes." And I'm like, "You've not even touched the gym right now. You've never even been to a gym, and you've never even worked out for 90 minutes. Start with one gym session per week for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Stay consistent with that. As soon as you feel confident, ready to go again, add a second and go for a bit longer. And you go again and again and again, and you progress. And then you are doing 50 minutes, 55 sessions per week. But you really, I think people with their starting is their expectations. You've seen someone else who's been gymming for 5, 10 years, and you're like, oh, they're gymming 5 days a week and they're working out for 60 minutes. I want to do exactly what they're doing. They've been working out for that for 4 years. That 4 years was they had to go through what you did. They had to go to the gym. They probably felt a bit uncomfortable at the gym at the beginning. And then they had to stay consistent. And then they had a bit of an off period with the gym and they just didn't really enjoy it. And then they were reunited with fitness and they found a plan which actually was really, really suitable for them. And then they were able to stay consistent. That's a lot of the time a single journey. If you don't have a coach, if you go all on your own, that's probably the journey you're going to go. It'll take longer, but it's amazing because you in years to come, you'll be like, oh, I'm so happy with that journey. Does carbs make you fat? No. So what does make you fat is over consuming over a period of time, and that increases the body fat percentage. Carbs don't make you fat. What carbs do, it gives you energy. But the reason when it relates to like weight loss, weight gain, and fat gain is foods are made up of different things, and carbs hold water retention. So when you have carbs, you're holding more water weight, which doesn't mean you're holding extra fat. It just means you're holding water weight, and that means when you're the next day, the scales may fluctuate, and that's one reason you fluctuate, like we just talked about at the beginning of the video, up, down, up, and down, up, and down. And carbs don't make you fat. It's a calorie. So you could have 2,000 calories of just carbs and 2,000 calories of fruit and veg, and you'll be staying exactly the same weight the whole time. So yes, you'll have different experiences. I wouldn't recommend having just 2,000 calories of carbs. It'd be unbelievable. I would love that, but you obviously want a nutritious diet. But the principle is it does not make you fat. And if you follow anyone who says that, you're just wasting energy following them. And that's the truth. Harsh UL. It's a new UL here. I'm only joking. I'm here to tell the truth here because I want you to develop your skills so that you don't need me. You don't need to listen to me anymore because you know it all. Easiest way to lose weight for Jewish New Year. So I'm going to hold this question for a second because that's going to be my next podcast episode. Basically talking about a few months away now from Jewish New Year, and a lot of people want to fit into a new dress or kind of over summer. And of course, you're not going to be making amazing, like huge transformations, but what you can do is increase your overall confidence and make a change in your physique, which is really, really going to be helpful. So I'm not going to tell you the easiest way to lose weight because there isn't no easiest way. But on the podcast, I'm going to talk about confidence, how I built a better relationship with food, my last year's approach of Jewish New Year, and tell you my tips and what I suggest to clients and how it's helped them. So I'm going to leave this question for that podcast episode because that is a awesome question, and I got so much to talk about, and I'll leave that. I'll now finish. That's the last question as well. So thank you so much for everyone who asked a question. Make sure to like and subscribe this video. I hope, let's see how this gets on. If this has 0 views, then maybe it's not going to be a popular thing. I'll try it for consistency for the next few weeks, and we'll see how it goes. What I'll do is just make sure to ask a question. Now, if you forget to ask a question, ask me on YouTube, ask me on this video, and then I can answer it in the next video. So I will literally, next video, if you haven't asked me a question and you haven't got your Instagram, ask me a question here, and in the next video, I'll go to my YouTube channel and I will answer all of them as well. So you do not miss out if you don't have Instagram. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll speak soon.